Hey everyone, so my last video I talked about my 2024 reads, and now I'm going to talk about my January 2025 reads. Let's go. So the first book that I read was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. It basically follows the story of here, I should probably show you pictures. This is what it looks like. It's a little bad picture, but this one and another one I don't have. It's in the library or with my teacher, so I kind of just go search up. Basically, it follows a girl, Madeline. Search up. It's severe combined autoimmune deficiency or bubble baby disease she has, and they don't really know what causes it. So she lives in this air-locked house for her whole life. Yeah, she's 18 years old, and then finally someone new moves in next door, and usually she doesn't pay attention because there's always someone new constantly moving in and out, but this time she does, and Ollie and his family move in, and she immediately falls in love with him and who he is and how he looks like. And a little bit about Ollie, he's a little bit of a parkour person. He literally climbs on the roof without getting there, and constantly climbs out his window because there's 2 floors, and sits on the roof and everything, or jumps off it, climbs up. He loves parkour and stuff. And she instantly becomes like invested and wants to know who he is and why he's here. So throughout the book, you follow her trying to like meet him, and eventually, and the only person, I forgot to mention, the only person that lives in her house is her mother and her nurse, which her nurse comes in, so it's semi-time. And her father and her brother died in an accident years back, car accident. So it's just her and her mom most of the time, so they do a lot bonding. And so basically, back to Ollie. Eventually in the story, her nurse lets them, after like video calling and chatting with each other, lets him come over and making sure that they stay 6 feet apart and healthy distance, nothing happens. Which they do, and everything goes well. And then things happen. Big twist at the end. And we'll definitely leave your mouth hanging because I wasn't expecting it. So I know you will. And the twist at the end is actually like, it's surprising. I was going to reference the movie, but then I'll just give it away. But it makes you feel really bad for her. But not the way you expected. So basically, it kind of follows the story of her being stuck in her house with her falling in love with Ollie and wanting to know everything he knows about him. And she gets a little jealous on it. I recommend this book to anyone who likes a really just good... When I was finding this book, I wanted a good sappy romance book. And that's what it was. I won't say it's sappy, but I wanted a good romance book. So it's definitely a romance fiction. Yeah, the whole story is premised off her and Ollie. So yeah, good romance, just nice, easy book. I finished it within like 2 days, not even. I've got at the end of the day, and like got the book at the end of the day of my last hour of school, and I finished it by the next day, midday, so I can head back to the library. And so it was a really quickly, it's only like 300 pages. I read it really easily, and the chapters are slow, and it keeps it going pretty fast and interesting. So I give it a 5 out of 5. I loved it. I would read it again in a heartbeat. I'm also like this close to buying it, and just so I can have a physical copy, to own. I recommend any of those romance readers you out there, who like a quick, easy paced kind of book. So let's move on to the next book. So next book I read is Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. It's the last book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and it follows a new perspective and stuff following I say Rysand, and it's Rhysand, actually. So if you're going to read a book, it's Rhysand. Do not say Rysand. But I've grown accustomed to it, and I can't stop, and that's how I prefer his name. So, but it follows Rhys and Feyre is the first 4 books, and then finally the last book is The Court of Silver Flames. It follows Nesta and Cassian. So Cassian is like a brother to Rhys. Him, Azriel, and Cassian, Azriel, and Rhys are like brothers together. And then Feyre, but they're not actually related. And then Feyre, Elaine, and Nesta are actual biological sisters. So I'm not going to talk about books, but basically, and warning if you haven't read any books. So let's skip maybe a couple, like 20 seconds. But basically, in the Court of Wings and Ruin, Nesta puts her life reliance in Cassian because Cassian's a little injured, and Nesta steps in front of him. And throughout the book, they kind of have like a thing going on, but like nothing. Like they're just like they like each other, don't let each other get hurt, and they actually kind of care. And so now trying to protect him from the King Hybern and put her life on the line to save them. She'd rather die with them than be here without him here. And now you cut to, and her father dies there too. And so now you cut to Core Silver Flames, where she's so not recovering very well from her father's death, and thinks that, like, she was the only one who cared about his death and everything. And she starts drinking and taking men home to her house, and, like, getting behind their bills. And finally, Farah and Ryzen were like, okay, this has to stop. You've wasted so much money, and we care about you, and we're concerned. So you shove her into, I think, the House of Wind, and forces her to train with Cassian. And Nessa doesn't really think she can be loved or should be loved. And so she has a hard time with that. I think that's a little part of it. And at first she's very hesitant, does not want to train with them, and just doesn't care, has given up on life. But they're fun enough on the way to a house is either they fly her, which they won't, or she has to walk around 10,000 stairs, which she never finishes until warning. She does get down there, but not for a while. So, finally she reluctantly makes a bargain with Cassian, and then they start training, and she gets stronger, and they fall in love. Heavy, spicy. It's very spicy. Whole series is just a warning. But they fall in love and realize how much they care about each other and want to be together. And it's, yeah. For me personally, it took the first 150 to 200 pages to actually get good and like it. I think I was just waiting for the romance part to kick in. Not the spicy, just them to fall in love and actually like each other. So that took a little bit, and I picked up about 3 times, and the third time I was like, either I finish this or I hand it back, because I've had the books for 5 months then. And I knew my teacher wanted it back eventually. She didn't say anything, but I felt it. So I finally finished it, and I love it. I think the only reason why I will give 4.5 is just because I need to show Dora Wednesday. Banana Ball's on right now, so I'll be watching that, so I'm going to kind of speed this up a little bit. But the reason why I think I give it 4.5 stars is because, just how slow it was at the beginning. But if I took out the first, 200 pages, then it'll be 5.5 out of 5. I recommend anyone who likes a romance fantasy or just love how Sarah J writes. I'm actually currently starting her Throne of Glass series by Raina Piquel, The Assassin's Blade, and I already love the main character. She is so, doesn't give a crap. She's like, you want, screw you all. I love her. But anyway, if you guys like some romantic fantasy and stuff, go read her books. ACOTAR is really good. On to the next book. Next book I read is Save Me Orange by Haley Grace. Probably the most depressing book I've ever read. It's poetry, and it's basically, I'll read the back for you. It's somewhere deep inside of your heart, the younger version of you created a home and will always live inside of you. So go outside and sit in the sun, call an old friend, or share an orange with your best friend. If you choose to do one thing today, choose life. Live a little while longer. Live with a little kid inside your heart who didn't know if you'll make it past 16. And the premise of the book is she saved herself an orange so she would live to the next day. And she's very depressed. Her father is abusive to her mom and she just wants to give out her life, but she doesn't know how. And anyone she's ever dated, she's convinced herself that she doesn't deserve love, and she was their guinea pig to figure out what they want in life and love, and they break up with her. So it's very depressing. It's very sad. So, I'll recommend. I'm not laughing it's depressing. I'm just excelling. Just want to get that clear. I recommend someone who likes poetry and doesn't mind how sad it is. I've had multiple friends who said they cried. I didn't personally, but I was close. So I recommend to anyone that. I'll give 3 out of 5 stars because I'm not typically the one to read poetry or sad books. But if you do, it's a book for you. The second last book I read in January is One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. This is a murder mystery with hint of romance because of Brown and Nate. You were in that. I love this book, personally. I read 50 pages, put it down, and thankfully picked it back up, and absolutely, I think I got to 58, because there's a mark here. And absolutely fell in love. 2 nights, one night I stayed up till midnight, and one night I stayed up till 1 a.m. reading it. I think I read it in 5 days then. It was so good. I loved every single bit of it. I'm so happy I picked it back up. I've been in the mood of trying to finish the books I picked up not. I have one more, which is Worth on Fire, and it was so good. I need time. I know this is Peacock. It's on Peacock in 2 seasons. It's 2 of the 3 books are in seasons, and then they dropped it, sadly. which I've not read yet, but I will get there. Yeah, basically you have 4 different people, very diverse people, like very different people, shoved in a room with a kid named Simon too, and they're all in detention. And Simon, who's allergic to peanut butter, takes the cup out of it, filled water, drink it, and turns out there's peanut oil in it, and he dies of allergic reaction. And they're all like, also the old arrows pointing to them that one of them's a murderer, and you're trying to figure out who out of the group is lying and who actually murdered them. Which the twist at the end will get you, and I was not expecting it, and it was really good though. And the ending was just spectacular, and I love writing, and I'll be getting the next book, which I think is One of Us is next, I think. So I plan to get the book. I give it 5 out of 5. I love it. Highly recommend to you. Murder mystery with a really, really like kind of small romance between, I'm just gonna give away, Rowan and Nate. But I love this book. And the final book that I read in January was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I finished this about 2 days left, so about the 30th, I think. By Holly Jackson. Basically, it's another murder mystery slight romance. So basically, Pip is a senior in high school, and this girl named Annie Bell got murdered by supposedly her boyfriend Sally Singh 5 years ago. And except she doesn't believe it, and there's too many plot holes, and so she decides for a capstone project for school, she was going to pick up the case and actually figure out who solved it, because she knew Sally Singh, and they were kind of friends. I mean, there's difference, but like, she knew care about him, and she didn't think that like there's no way in heck that he would murder. And so she goes digging for answers, and I'm kind of looking it back to like make sure I don't spoil it too much. And along the way, picks up Sal's brother Robbie to help her, because they started them questioning, and then turns out he actually tried to solve the case earlier, and they got totally shut down because being the brother of the supposed murderer doesn't really help you. And so basically, he decides to help her, and then they slowly become close friends, and then turns into lovers throughout the book. And plot twist happening, and at the end, Pip actually figures out who murders, and this person you probably least suspect. There's I think 3 books in the series, like One of Us Lying, Go Girl Bad Blood is next, and I do plan on getting that. And yeah, I get this one to probably 4 or 5, because if I picked it up, read like 50 pages, like One of Us Lying, picked it back up again, got to like page 118, and then put it down again, because I kind of lost interest, and then finally picked it back up and finished it, which I'm glad I did, like last one. So I give it like 4 or 5, like Solar Flames, just because it took a while just to get hitched. But I think if I were just to pick it up like I did just then and read it, I think I would have gotten it like hitched on it right away. But it's just kind of get into that genre. I recommend to you guys who like murder mystery with a hint of romance, like the last book. And yeah. Alright, that is all the books that I read in January. I feel like I'm forgetting one, but I don't think I am. I'll probably do this every month of the year, and then I think, because last year I read solo books, and now, like, I think I read, like, 8 or 9, and I read 5 this month, so I think I'll probably at the end of the year, if I do get up this, I'll probably do, like, an end of the year top books. But thank you guys so much for watching this video and being interested in what I read. I hope you guys maybe try to buy these books if you don't have it already, and, like, I hope this video helps you kind of maybe get intrigued in them and stuff. Yeah. I feel, trying to be God bless you all, trust in his plan, and I love you all so much. Bye!